Hello. Every time I mention on a video the word monkey, when I call people monkeys, I get a lot of hate messages, many hate messages. I don't know why. If you are aware of the theory of evolution, the Darwin theory of evolution, you would know that even the theory of evolution does not say that humans came from monkeys. No, they came from a common ancestor. That common ancestor is like a unicellular entity that came from the seas. Then that unicellular entity became 2 cells, then 3 cells, then on and on and on. Fishes, lizards, this and this and that, and then the fishes got legs. They came out of the oceans after billions of years. Then those lizards with legs start crawling up the trees, on and on and on and on, became monkeys, and then the monkeys gave birth to many different kinds of monkeys, and then one of those kinds of monkeys gave birth to humans, per se, and on and on and on. So, humans, even according to the theory of evolution defenders, did not come from monkeys. One of the common ancestors. But, it's the main common ancestor, because they look a little bit like us. They have 2 eyes, they have a mouth, they have a nose, they have 2 arms and 2 legs. And so, that's why I call people the monkeys. The ones that believe the theory of evolution. I could call them something else. Cockroaches. Is that better? Moths? Fishes? Lizards? No, I call them monkeys because most people are simple-minded and connect humans with the monkeys for some weird reason. Even though even the theory of evolution says that the first ancestor, common ancestor, was just a 1-cell organism in the oceans. But everybody who believes in the theory of evolution connects to the monkeys. That's why I call it the monkeys. You call yourselves the monkeys if you say that your great-great-great-great-great-great-great-great-grandfather was a monkey. So you're a monkey. What do you want to say? I'm just agreeing with you. I'm not going against you. I'm agreeing with you. And you're attacking me because I don't believe in the theory of evolution. I'm calling it by its name. If you believe that one of your common ancestors was a monkey, you're a monkey. What's the problem? Why are you attacking me? Anyway, you can be whomever you want. You want to be a cockroach, a 1-cellular organism in the ocean? You want to be a fish that grew 4 legs and suddenly started walking out of the sea and the ocean and crawling up the trees? You tell me. I call you anything you want. Just like you call me anything you want. And then, like I said, there's different kinds of monkeys. There's the Christian monkeys. The Christian monkeys are those people that are Christian, but they still believe in the theory of evolution, which is completely opposite of their beliefs. Those are the Christian monkeys. They go to church, or they call themselves Christians, but they believe in the theory of evolution. And there's many other kinds of monkeys. You decide who you want to be. Until then, I call the monkeys by their name. If you want to be a monkey, I call you a monkey. What do you want me to call you? Cockroach? What? Think before writing things. Cheers.
And their goal was to be the rightful people running the country of Japan. But we can't assume that just because they're non-state actors, they will not make use of some technology. And their goal was to be the rightful people running the country of Japan. But we can't assume that just because they're non-state actors, they will not make use of some technology around this. Related to this is an idea called DREADS. These are designer receptors that can be remotely controlled. So think about it for a moment. You can create a designer receptor, you can create a cell, you can put it somewhere in the body, and you can remotely activate it when the brain's exposed to the right signal. Using this technology, people have been able to transfer memories from one fruit fly to another by signaling through a light stimulus into the retina. Right now, in most animals, it's done by putting a substance into their body that will actually activate the neuron in the way that you want it. So you have the capacity to create any product. As long as you know the DNA sequence, you can insert it into a living system, and you can remotely control it. So in medicine, we think about how we do that to help people, how we do to repair deficits. Other people are going to think about how do they do it to expand possibilities. Now, one of the challenges that we have is that when you create a cell and you put it in somebody's body, you have to figure out where you want it. What if you want it in their brain? Right? If you want it in their brain, and you can't figure out, you don't want to do surgery to plant it in their brain. If I want a product produced in your brain that may affect the way you think, the way you act, one route to that is through stem cells. If you're a quick brush up on your biology, stem cells are cells, they call them God cells. They can turn into anything. They hold the potential, unlike other cells in your body, to become anything you want them to become. And they can go find their home in the body and park there and do the work that you'd like them to do. You can infuse them, and they will find their way into the brain. So once you know that the technology is there to edit, splice, and program a cell, and the technology currently exists to administer it to somebody and have it go park anywhere you program it to go park, proliferate, and do its function, you can have things activated in other people's brains. So if you take these three key points, hopefully you can see it opens up a number of both alarming and exciting possibilities. You can have the timed release of information on demand. Hopefully, when I mentioned the word CRISPR and word editing and creating molecules with CRISPR and playing with DNA, some of you thought encryption and encoding. So DNA encryption, there were, I think, 8 articles published by China in the course of 3 years, in the last 3 years. And it's quite important. The coding system, DNA steganography, I'll just say the short story on this is people have figured out how to hide imagery in the DNA of bacteria, and when you phosphoresce the bacteria, you can discover the information, or you can have those are just to remind me, you can have the information reproduced in a string form as a form of a protein. Dr. Church up at Harvard has shown quite well that you can store a lot of information in 1 gram of DNA. It's essentially, that many iPads in 1 gram at room temperature. No supercooling required. DNA is highly stable. It's been around on the planet a very long time. So between CRISPR, the storage capacity, and programming cells, the new way to hide information is going to be in DNA. The commercial application is going to be a bit like on Star Trek years ago. Why would you have a digital system when you can have a DNA system? It can store all the information you'd ever need, records, photos, anything. It's simply another way of storing information. It had just been so slow up until 5 years ago, it wouldn't be thought to be practical. But it is. This is the first experiment showing what imagery you can hide in bacteria. This is the latest. It's a GIF file. It was actually programmed into the DNA of bacteria last year. The bacteria reproduced, and the offspring from the reproduction cycle would still produce this movie. Pretty cool. You can hide information in bacteria, and when the bacteria multiply, they can go into a spore form and last for a very long time. No one can scan you and find a bacteria. We don't have anything that can detect that. People, So if you want to be able to encode information, take pictures of information, create something in DNA and don't want it in your own body, it can be bacteria on some portion of your body, right? All they have to do is scrape it, let it grow in the Petri dish, and unpack the information. This is all available now. This isn't science fiction, but you can encode movies.
Meanwhile,
May look a little creepy to you, but she finds it comforting. The woman's 7-year-old son, Asher, took the photo. He captured the image out of an airplane window.
When the mother saw the picture, she immediately thought it might be Asher's guardian angel.
To all you people all over the world, wherever you are, I know it's a tough one. I'm an old dude. I've been around for years. I live with optimism. But to all you guys, all you youngsters who feel thwarted and put down and hopeless, believe me one thing. I've read someone, I can't remember whether it was in the Old Testament or I think it was a shaman, maybe Carlos Castaneda, but the shaman said there was a drought. Cattle were dying, people were dying in a desert. And the shaman said, build the ditches, dig the ditches for the rain. And they said, there is no rain. Dig the ditches and the rain will come. Now you non-believers may say, oh, that's nonsense. Well, believe what you want. That's the rational mind. I don't think the rational mind is working too well at the moment. It's the irrational mind, the subconscious. All my life, when I was a little boy, I dreamed of where I am now. I may have had a vision, I don't know. Didn't have much hope. But everything happened for me. And now I believe that we can condense time. We can pull it to ourselves. It's not about the future. Oh, I'm going to do something next year. doesn't exist. Tomorrow doesn't exist. The next hour does not exist. It's all potential. But what we can do is drag the time into the present, now, into the solar plexus of our soul. Build the ditches. Whatever you want to do, believe it, believe it, believe it, even if you don't believe. Play the game of belief. Act as if you believe. That is power. That is sheer power. And it will happen, believe you me. An old fool like me has worked in my life, it will work in yours. So never give up. Believe, believe, believe. I don't care if you're atheist or agnostic or anything. Believe, believe, believe.
May look a little creepy to you, but she finds it comforting. The woman's 7-year-old son, Asher, took the photo. He captured the image out of an airplane window.
When the mother saw the picture, she immediately thought it might be Asher's guardian angel. Our Chip Brewster has their story.
This is Asher. He just got back from a trip to Washington, D.C., lives here in Alvin, Texas, and you've become a semi-famous photographer. Nice.
He is such a blessing.
It wasn't until Carrie Lyles gave birth to Asher 7 years ago that she learned he had Down syndrome. It's something the family has embraced since day one.
We did name him Asher with the 2 capital A's. The 2 capital A's because of the extra chromosome. Oh! We couldn't ask for an awesomer kid.
Who takes some awesome pictures. One of his recent snapshots during a trip home from visiting his older brother has raised a few eyebrows.
So we're taking off and there's a lot of turbulence. And he's sitting next to me and he's like, ugh. Of course, when he sees the phone, he wants it. He, starts taking pictures and I'm like, cool, because that's kind of distracting him. So I'm going through and I'm holding my thumb on there and I'm like, check, 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 delete, check, 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 delete, check, check. Whoa, what is that? And as soon as I got internet service, I'm like, post that to my Facebook and I'm like, y'all, look at this picture that Asher took. The heck is this?
Comments poured in, each with a theory, but Carrie has her own belief.
Asher has always had something. If it's his guardian angel, if it's someone watching him. I guess we'll never really know what exactly it is, but I do know for a fact it was out the window of the airplane. He took it, and it's an iPhone picture, and it's real.
The Lyles family says it doesn't matter what you believe the photo is, as long as you believe in Asher. Good